Foodborne illnesses, and what are we talking about foodborne illnesses? We just talked about them. Salmonella, E. coli, staph, and the proper thawing methods. You put it. I don't believe it. Nephew that went to the hospital with okay. No, on another health point though, he went to the hospital. He has chronic Lyme's disease, which if you live up in this area, you certainly can get chronic Lyme's. He has it actually in his skin. So he's on intravenous antibiotics. So just another thing to keep in the back of your mind. And by the way, a lot of these diseases, like Lyme, is a great mimicker of other diseases. So you can think you have one thing and you have another, or you can have that and have that. So, okay, how to properly thaw things. Put it in the refrigerator, 41 degrees or below. Using a microwave, you can take frozen foods out of the freezer and use the microwave to thaw them. And you use that as part of the cooking process. Or you can take an ice bath in running water. You can actually put your ice bath. You can actually put your frozen foods under running water. Okay. And I think the key thing there is that thawing in the refrigerator is one of the longest methods. It's probably one of the best methods. You probably have to plan on having space there though for 24 hours or more. So if you're short on space, that might not be your best method. Notice the cross-contamination. Don't take frozen roast beef and put it on the top shelf so that if the package bleeds at all, you're going to have it bleeding down over all your other foods. So you want to wash out the cross-contamination. And use a drip pan under the food. That's what they're telling you there. I'm a lazy person. I would use a drip pan even if I was putting it on the bottom shelf, because if it bleeds, I don't want to clean the whole bottom of that refrigerator. Microwave. You want to use that on frozen foods that are going to be cooked immediately after. And the microwave thawing actually begins the cooking process. So you can use it as part of the cooking process. Also, like if you had a piece of meat and you wanted to put it into the cooking process, you probably just put it into your oven. But remember, you have to check the internal temperatures before you serve. Under running water. You want to have it with enough pressure so that you're flushing off the particulates that are coming off it. I don't know. Now with water becoming a real resource, it may not be the most popular way either. 2 hours. So you've got to remember, you can't have it under the running water more than 2 hours. And what sink do you put it in?
Prep sink.
Food prep sink. Everybody have a food prep sink here? Now, food prep sink, what do you use it for?
Prep food.
Prepping food. What else? Okay, what kind of drains are on food prep sinks? Yes, but what kind of drain?
It's an open drain.
What kind of drain? They do go to grease traps, by the way. But what kind of drain? If this is your drain line coming down, it goes straight into the pipe and goes out, right?
No, it's separate.
No.
The gap
It
is
has
the
an air gap. So it has a funnel underneath it, and you have a slight air gap right above that funnel. Why is that?
Prevent backflow.
Prevent backflow. So you're going to have an indirect, what they call an indirect connection on a food prep sink. What other sinks get an indirect connection?
Dishwashing sink?
Triple sink, 3-compartment sink. And what does the 3-compartment sink get used for?
Wash, rinse, and sink.
And what else? You can wash your hands in that one, right?
No.
No. No. And what's the 3 bays used for?
Clean.
Wash,
Clean.
rinse,
Sanitize.
and sanitize. Cross-contamination, we were talking about that before. Cross-contamination can be done in different ways. Food to food. Give me an example of a food to food.
Uncooked food, raw food, cooked food.
Say loud.
Uncooked food mixed with cooked.
Uncooked foods, maybe like that roast beef that we're thawing out, being stored over the vegetables. What other ways? Oh, by the way, going back to that, food to food, what's cutting boards? How many of you have the color-coded cutting boards? Not too many in here. Color-coded cutting boards, can you explain them?
The white board would be used for ready-to-eat foods. I mean, you could use it to cut deli meat, cheese, sandwiches. That would be, some of the things. The green board is used for produce, any kind of fruits and vegetables, and the red board is for raw meats and raw fish and poultry.
Yeah, usually they'll even divide out the meats.
It used to be 6.
Yellow is for poultry, red I think is for pork and for beef.
It used to be 6 because we used to have the brown board for pork.
What was the other
We used
one?
to have the brown board for pork and the
Okay.
yellow board for poultry.
Now, and that would be a wise thing to do if you were dealing with a number of different types of meats, so you don't get cross-connection going between beef and pork or beef and chicken. It's a wise thing to separate it out.
The dark red should be the protein and the white is the pink. Pork.
Okay. All right. I haven't seen the pink ones.
And the blue, dark blue board for